Imagine a place where life pulses in every leaf, every river, and every shadow of the dense forests. A place where the majesty of the rhinoceros commands respect. The serenity of the African manatee glides silently through the waters, and the strength of the hippopotamus echoes across powerful rivers. Welcome to the Congo, the vibrant heart of Africa, a living sanctuary that witnesses the grandeur of God's creation. Here, the enigmatic okapi, mysterious relative of the giraffe, walks silently through the jungle, while the agile and elegant leopard lurks like a master of the shadows. In the waters, the feared Nile crocodile patrols with imposing presence, while the forests echo with the sounds of unique and extraordinary creatures. The Congo is more than a habitat. It is a stage where divine work manifests itself in all its complexity and beauty. Prepare yourself for an unforgettable journey through this wild kingdom, where every creature, large or small, plays an essential role in the balance of life. Let us explore together this spectacle of diversity, strength, and purpose that connects us directly to the Creator. Chimpanzees, intelligent and fascinating creatures, are an impressive example of God's work in nature. These primates, who share approximately 98.7% of their DNA with human beings, invite us to contemplate the complexity, beauty, and harmony of the world God created. Inhabiting the tropical forests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and other parts of Africa, chimpanzees are a living manifestation of divine care in the shaping of all forms of life. A testimony of divine intelligence, chimpanzees are known for their remarkable intelligence, being capable of using tools. They create and use tools to obtain food, such as twigs to capture termites or stones to crack open nuts. This ability reveals logical thinking that reflects the wisdom of the Creator. They communicate expressively using a combination of vocalizations, gestures, and facial expressions. Chimpanzees demonstrate a complex language that is an echo of the diversity of human communication. Within their groups, they collaborate and face challenges with creativity, revealing God's capacity to endow His creatures with unique abilities. The divine work in social behavior. Chimpanzees live in well-organized communities where social bonds are fundamental to their survival. They care for one another, grooming each other and sharing food, demonstrating compassion and unity, reflections of God's love for humanity. Group leaders exhibit responsibility and protection, establishing a hierarchy that ensures peace and order within the collective. They express emotions such as joy, sadness, and empathy, a reminder of how God connects all creatures with feelings that transcend survival, the habitat as part of divine creation. Chimpanzees inhabit the dense tropical forests of the Congo, a magnificent setting where the glory of God is evident. This region, rich in life, offers food and shelter, demonstrating God's divine plan of providence for every creature. The tall, leafy trees are used as resting and safety spots, a testimony to the harmony between living beings and the environment God created. The variety of fruits, leaves, and seeds that make up the chimpanzee's diet reflects divine abundance and generosity, challenges, and our role as guardians of creation. Despite their ingenuity and resilience, chimpanzees face serious threats: habitat loss, due to deforestation for mining and agriculture, destroys the forests God destined for them. Hunting and illegal trade affects them frequently in cruel ways. Our role as stewards of divine creation is to preserve chimpanzees and their habitats. Every conservation effort is a way of honoring God's work, who entrusted us with the stewardship of the earth and all its inhabitants. A lesson from God for us chimpanzees teach us that cooperation, care for others, and the intelligent use of resources are pillars of a life in harmony with God's purpose. They show us that all creatures have a special role in the world, and that we are called to protect, respect, and learn from the diversity of life. Inspiring curiosities. Chimpanzees demonstrate rituals around trees or stones, suggesting a sense of reverence for their environment. Mothers pass knowledge on to their young, revealing the importance of intergenerational learning, something God also designed in us. Their capacity to play and express joy is a celebration of life, showing that God desires His creation to live in fullness. Chimpanzees are more than intelligent primates. They are a precious part of God's plan, a tangible reminder of His greatness and care in every detail of the universe. May we see them as brothers in creation and work to ensure that they continue to live in harmony in the world carefully planned by a loving Creator. The Nile crocodile is an impressive creature that carries in its appearance and behavior the strength, wisdom and balance of God's work in nature. Found in rivers, lakes and swamps across much of Africa, including the Congo, this predator is a living testimony to the diversity and power of divine creation. The Nile crocodile is a perfect example of design and functionality, created to survive and thrive in its aquatic environment. With muscular bodies, resistant skin, and incredibly powerful jaws, they showcase God's ingenuity in creating an animal adapted to both water and land. Their nostrils and eyes, positioned on top of the head, allow them to remain submerged while observing their surroundings, highlighting the Creator's attention to detail. Their muscular tail not only guarantees agility in the water, but also represents the strength that symbolizes the harmony between power and function. The Nile crocodile plays a crucial role in aquatic ecosystems, maintaining the balance of food chains and contributing to the overall health of the environments where it lives. It controls populations of fish and other aquatic animals, preventing overpopulation and ensuring the sustainability of the ecosystem. As a scavenger, it helps keep rivers clean by consuming carcasses, a function that demonstrates the purpose of each being in divine creation. Despite their intimidating appearance, crocodiles are organized and strategic animals. With patience and precision, they wait for the perfect moment to capture their prey, showing how divine creation is as much about intelligence as it is about strength. Females build elaborate nests and protect their eggs with dedication, carrying hatchlings in their mouths after birth, an act of care that reflects the divine love present throughout nature. Like many of God's works, Nile crocodiles face threats due to human action. The destruction of wetlands and rivers impacts their survival areas. These animals are frequently hunted for their skin and meat, despite being essential to ecological balance. Nile crocodiles are examples of resistance, adaptability, and purpose. Every scale covering their body, every silent movement beneath the water, and every hunting strategy are a reminder of God's detailed care in His creation. Their survival across millions of years is a testimony to the divine strength embedded in nature. Even their ferocity inspires reverence, reminding us that the Creator designed the world with diversity and balance, where every creature has a unique role. Nile crocodiles can live more than 70 years, a longevity that highlights their resistance and adaptability. They have a characteristic smile, with teeth visible even when their mouth is closed, a detail that makes them unmistakable. Their bite is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom, yet they use it with delicacy to carry newborn hatchlings, a metaphor for strength controlled by the purpose of protecting. Protecting Nile crocodiles is preserving a fragment of God's divine work on earth. They are not merely predators, they are essential pieces in the balance of the rivers. Through conservation efforts and respect for nature, we can honor God's creation and ensure that this magnificent creature continues to inhabit the rivers of the Congo and beyond as a living testimony to divine greatness. Hippopotamuses are majestic creatures that inhabit the rivers and lakes of the Congo and much of Africa. Their imposing size, social behavior, and essential role in the ecosystem reflect the greatness and harmony of the divine plan. Known as the gentle giants of the water, hippopotamuses remind us of the balance between strength and serenity that God imprinted upon each of His creations. The hippopotamus is living proof of God's wisdom in the diversity of life. With bodies that can weigh up to 3,000 kilograms, hippopotamuses possess a colossal strength that dominates riverbanks and transforms them into symbols of power in creation. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils, located on top of the head, allow them to breathe and observe their environment while submerged, a detail that reveals divine perfection in every natural design. Their thick and sensitive skin secretes a substance similar to a natural sunscreen, protecting them from the sun and infections, a gift from God to ensure their survival under the intense African heat. Hippopotamuses live in groups known as pods, led by a dominant male. These groups reflect the order and organization present in the natural world. Living together in a group allows hippopotamuses to protect one another from predators and maintain balance in the environment. The dominant male protects the group and the territory, ensuring the safety of its members and the continuation of future generations, a responsibility that reflects God's providential care. Hippopotamuses play vital functions in rivers and lakes, showing that every living being has a purpose in divine creation. As they move between water and land, they create pathways that benefit other species, allowing the circulation of water and nutrients. Their excrement helps fertilize rivers and lakes, promoting the growth of aquatic plants and feeding fish and other creatures. Despite their peaceful appearance, hippopotamuses possess impressive strength and can be aggressive when threatened, reminding us that God created the balance between gentleness and protection in all things. They spend most of the day in the water, protecting themselves from the heat and living in harmony with the environment. At night they come out to graze, consuming large quantities of grass and showing how each creature is integrated into the cycle of life. Unfortunately, hippopotamuses face growing threats that put their survival at risk. The destruction of flooded areas and rivers, often for agriculture or mining, threatens the places where they live. They are hunted for their meat and ivory teeth, which has reduced their populations. As human populations grow, conflicts between hippopotamuses and local communities increase, putting both at risk. Preserving hippopotamuses is an act of reverence for God's creation. Their existence is a reminder that we are called to care for the earth and all its inhabitants. A hippopotamus can remain submerged for up to 5 minutes, displaying its incredible adaptation to the aquatic environment. Despite their size, they can run at speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour over short distances. Their enormous mouth can open up to 150 degrees, revealing powerful tusks, a symbol of their strength. Hippopotamuses are more than giant animals. They are an integral part of ecological balance, an example of strength, grace, and purpose. Their presence in the waters of the Congo and beyond is a testimony to God's perfection in creating an interconnected world where every being plays a vital role. May we learn from them and protect these living wonders, honoring the great work of the Creator in everything we see and touch. The okapi is one of the most iconic and enigmatic animals in the world. Found exclusively in the dense tropical forests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, considered a living fossil, the okapi belongs to the giraffe family, although its compact body and striped legs make it look more like a zebra in appearance. This unique creature is a symbol of the Congo's biodiversity and an example of the natural wealth of the region. The okapi has a robust body with bright chestnut fur, while its legs bear black and white stripes reminiscent of zebras. It is relatively small for a relative of the giraffe, measuring about 2.5 meters in length and between 1.5 and 2 meters in height at the shoulder. Its long neck is less prominent than that of the giraffe, but equally adapted to reach vegetation at higher levels. The okapi's tongue is exceptionally long, approximately 35 centimeters, used to grab leaves and even clean its own eyes. The okapi inhabits the dense, humid forests of the Congo Basin, in areas such as the Okapi Wildlife Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is a solitary and shy animal, preferring to hide in thick vegetation. It feeds on leaves, shoots, fruits and fungi, using its agile tongue to reach trees and shrubs. Despite being an herbivore, it has a unique digestive mechanism that allows it to consume plants that are toxic to other animals. The okapi plays a vital role in the forest ecosystem, helping in seed dispersal and the maintenance of plant diversity. Because it is a shy and difficult animal to spot, its presence is an indicator of healthy ecosystems. The forests of the Congo face serious threats from deforestation, illegal mining and agriculture, which reduces the okapi's habitat. They are also hunted for their meat and skin. Political instability and armed conflicts in the region make conservation efforts difficult. Various efforts are underway to protect the okapi, including the creation of reserves such as the Okapi Wildlife Reserve and educational programs involving local communities. The okapi was only scientifically discovered in 1901, making it one of the last large mammal species to be formally described. Its reclusive behavior and inaccessible habitat made it a mythical species for European explorers who heard stories about it before ever seeing one. The okapi is not only a natural wonder, but also a reminder of the urgent need to protect the forests of the Congo, one of the greatest ecological treasures in the world. The African manatee, also known as the African sea cow, is one of the most peaceful and fascinating inhabitants of the rivers and coastlines of West and Central Africa, including the Congo. With its gentle appearance and graceful movements, the African manatee is a living reflection of the serenity and care of God in creation. This aquatic mammal is proof of the diversity and beauty that God gave us to contemplate and protect. The African manatee is a masterpiece of creation, designed to live in aquatic environments in a sustainable and graceful way. With rounded and muscular bodies covered by thick, smooth skin, they are built to swim gently through the waters of rivers and estuaries. Moving slowly and peacefully, manatees evoke the peace and harmony that God incorporated into nature. Their paddle-shaped tail not only propels them through the water, but also symbolizes balance and efficiency in divine creation. African manatees have a vital role in the aquatic ecosystems they inhabit, a demonstration of how every being created by God has its unique function. They feed on seagrass and aquatic plants, helping to control the excessive growth of vegetation in rivers and lakes, which benefits other species. By digesting and redistributing plant matter, they contribute to the balance of nutrients in the aquatic environment. The presence of manatees indicates that the habitat is healthy and balanced, showing how God gives us signs to care for nature. Manatees are solitary creatures or live in small groups, moving peacefully and coexisting harmoniously with other species. They rarely exhibit aggressive behavior, demonstrating the serenity that God implanted in their essence. They spend most of their time resting or feeding on submerged plants, maintaining the balance of the food chain without causing negative impacts. They inhabit fresh and brackish waters, moving between rivers, lakes, and estuaries. These areas, rich in biodiversity, are more than their home. They are testimonies of God's abundance and care. The warmth and lush vegetation provide shelter and food, showing divine provision. Their role in the environment reflects the perfect interconnection between creatures and their habitats, planned by the Creator. Like many of God's wonders, African manatees face growing threats caused by human action. The construction of dams, pollution, and the degradation of flooded areas affect their migration routes and feeding zones. Despite being protected by laws in several regions, they are still hunted for their meat and oil. Fishing nets and boats frequently cause fatal accidents for these aquatic giants. Protecting the African manatee is a way of honoring God's work and recognizing our role as guardians of creation. When we save these creatures, we preserve not only a species, but the balance and harmony of the aquatic ecosystem that sustains life. African manatees can weigh up to 500 kilograms, yet their diet is exclusively herbivorous, showing that strength and serenity can coexist. These animals are capable of holding their breath for up to 15 minutes underwater, an adaptation that reflects God's ingenuity. They live up to 40 years in the wild, exemplifying the longevity and resilience that mark divine creations. African manatees teach us profound lessons: harmony with the environment, patience, and the importance of living sustainably. As caretakers appointed by God for the earth, we are called to protect these unique creatures and the habitats where they live, ensuring that they continue to swim in the rivers of the Congo and beyond as living testimonies of the grace and wisdom of the Creator. May we look at manatees and see in them the hand of God, always present in the beauty, complexity, and balance of the natural world.